Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Ellarie here. Another story time video. I went and checked the pool. Oh my gosh, my hair is so light skin up here. I went swimming and I had my wig on. You know when your wig like sits right here, this part don't really get no sun. So we're just gonna flip my head back so you can't see that. All right. Yeah, so I went and checked out the poll, and the second requested video on the storytime poll was when I tried out for making the band, which I'm glad was second because I don't even know if I'm still gonna do the home invasion video because there's nothing funny about it. There's nothing entertaining about it. It was a very traumatizing experience that I still am not over. I don't think you really get over a situation like that. So while I am doing story time, I am going to be attempting to do a really colorful look. Rainbow, you know, it's Pride Month. So I went in my makeup drawer and I tried to find a palette that had all the colors of the rainbow in it, and this was like right on top. Even though these are neon colors, they still are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and neon tends to look more pigmented, brighter on darker skin. Like if I used regular red, orange, yellow, green, blue, it'd be alright, but it wouldn't be like super like vibrant unless I put white underneath it, and I don't want to do that. So we're gonna go with this neon palette. This is from Violet Voss. It's called Vibes. And then I'm probably gonna use some transition shades from one of these two palettes. They're from Uoma. I'll let you know what colors I use as I go along, but for the most part, this is gonna be story time. I am having a spritzer. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, okay? I'm gonna start by priming my eyes with Uoma's Stay Well Concealer. Ooh. This is the shade Brown Sugar T1. It's not the shade that I use on my actual face, but I needed something like a little more bright for my eyes since I'm putting so many bright colors on it. Okay, so a little background for the youngins here. Making the Band was a show that came on MTV. The original, I believe the season 1, like where it first started, it was with a rap group. That is when I first started. I watched every season. And the rap group was probably the most entertaining just because it was like the beginning of reality TV where things were just kind of like all over the place. But that was the original one, and then he started doing girl groups and guy groups. They had Diddy Kane and they had Day 26. Both have fire albums, by the way. Don't sleep. I still listen to Day 26's album, So the band that I'm talking about that I tried out for was Diddy Kane, and he wanted to find new members because, you know, he just did stuff like that. He'd be like, the studio's closed, the band is done. Like he always shut some stuff down, and this is when he was looking for new members. It's very long ago. This was like my freshman year in college. Okay, so that's the background of the show. Most of you guys probably already know that. Now, I never had aspirations to be a singer. I never wanted to be a singer. I never wanted to be on stage performing in front of people. Like, okay, I'm about to digress again. You guys know I'll be all over the place with these story times. So my plan is, because I know you guys are probably thinking, what's going on? What is she doing? She's never done this before. She looks a little strange, not clear. So my plan is to like start with this really bright pink, like in the outside corner, like kind of off my eye, and work my way up. I'm very nervous. But you know what? It's makeup, no big deal. You guys know I'm rusty. Okay, back to the story. So like I said, I didn't want to be a singer. What had happened was the only people that really kind of knew, and mind you, when I say I could sing, it's not like I'm Ariana Grande and out here Whitney belts, Mariah Carey rips, nothing like that. It's basically like I could hold a note, like I'm all right. But even with that being said, I still didn't really like to sing in front of people. It was just something that I didn't like to do. Like when I sing in front of people, it's just me singing the song, not me like really trying to sing. But even from that, people are still kind of like, oh, you have a nice little voice. I'm like, oh, thanks. Not really trying, but you know. So anyways, I don't remember how it got brought up, but I came home from college. I was in the Bay Area at my aunt's house. I don't remember how the conversation started, but the conversation of me singing came up. And you know how family is when they think one of the kids got a hidden talent. They're like, come on in here and show me what you can do. Come show me that song you be singing. So I was really embarrassed. I didn't want to do it. So I went into a whole nother room and I just started singing the song. I don't remember what song it was, but just so my family could hear me actually singing. But that was like the first time I sang for my family, and I was already like 19 years old. So everyone was like shocked, like, oh my gosh, you really do have a really nice voice. That's so crazy. So at that time, the auditions for Making the Band were in the Bay Area. Just so happened to be that same weekend that I was visiting my family from college. And everyone's like, you should go try out. Like, you should just go see what happens. Like, you never know, you might make the band. But as I said, that wasn't really my goal in life. I didn't want to be in a girl group. I didn't want to be a singer. I just so happened to hold a note. Just because you have a talent in something doesn't mean like that's what you have to pursue. However, I don't want to say it was peer pressure, but it might have been, because that's not normally something that I would do, especially by myself. Like, that's something that I'd be like, okay, if you do it, I'll do it, like type of situation. But I actually somehow, some way, garnered up some courage and went to the audition. So when I got there, I almost instantly wanted to back out. The line was so long, it like wrapped around the blocks. There was so many people there. They're just belting on the streets. That's not what I just was really uncomfortable. Like I said, I wasn't even comfortable singing in front of people. The first time I sung in front of a group of people was like the day before. Like, why am I here? Wait, let me stop real quick because I don't know what's going on here. But it's not working for me. I don't know what was happening. I'm so sorry, guys. But I think I'm gonna take a different approach here. So I'm gonna use my regular concealer, and then I'm gonna use a lighter one and try to do a cut crease situation. That's also risky, but what was happening right there, y'all saw it. Wasn't cute. Okay, I'm at the audition outside. They're passing out this paper that has 5 songs on it that you could choose from to sing. Something else I was not totally prepared for, but I looked up because I did know one of the songs. And this was, mind you, there were cell phones, but there was no like social media. There was no, I don't even think there was YouTube. There was nothing that I could really like, okay, let me go learn this song real quick. Like, unless you had like a Discman, I don't really know how people were memorizing the songs at that time if they didn't know the ones that were on there. But the song that I decided to go with was Nobody's Supposed to Be Here by Deborah Cox. Everybody knows that song. It's like a karaoke classic. So while everybody's outside belting, in order for me to practice for the song, because you guys remember I've said it a million times, I don't like singing in front of people. Everyone's outside. There's no private room to practice. So opposed to belting on the streets like they were doing, which is smart, that's how you practice. I was more so like, okay. Why? Like, that's how I was practicing for hours, because that's how long it took to get into the actual room. It took forever. Crease colors, by the way, are gonna be Oruro. Remember, I had a hard time saying these colors before. I've used this palette before. We're back. I'm gonna use Oruro and Notting Hill for my crease, just FYI. So finally, I get to the room. There's like one guy in there. Didn't know who he was. I assumed he was either, I don't know, talent scout, producer, executive, whoever. He said, start singing. I started singing Deborah Cox. I spent all my life on a certain I think I only got to like that part. And then he was like, all right. And I was like, wow. So my family actually said I was pretty good. They actually let me sing more. But if you're done, you've heard enough, that's fine. It was nice seeing you. Great. So as I walked out the room, I kind of remember it being like somebody out the room that gave me the paper that said I passed the first round. So I was like, wow, he didn't even smile. He didn't even, wow, he had me there. So he liked it. That's great. I'm coming back tomorrow. Wasn't planning on this, but that's crazy. You know, all those people outside, and I'm one of the lucky people. Oh yeah, mind you, I forgot to mention, okay, so this is in the Bay Area, right? I went to school in Elk Grove, which is like NorCal, but most of my family stayed in the Bay Area. So, but if you lived in the Sacramento, Elk Grove area, any of the surrounding areas, Vacaville, all that good stuff, you were at this audition if you could sing. So there were people there that I knew, like that I went to high school with, that were known for like singing. And they were looking at me like, are you here with You're here with cousin, family member, auntie, uncle? Who are you here for? I'm here. I actually can toodaloo. That's crazy. So there were people who actually really were known for singing in high school, were not shy about it, that tried out, that didn't even make it past that first round. Like nobody that I knew the day before when we were out in the long lines got called back to come the next day, which, like I said, I didn't want to be a singer, but something was telling me like, wait a minute, Beyonce? Like, did I not just beat girls that, wow, okay, so it's not just a shower thing. All right. Went home, told my family, yeah, sang, next round, I'm going, no big deal. So everybody's super excited, and now it's like, okay, girl, this is probably when, you know, the people who are actually on the show are gonna be there. We might wanna, you know, dress you up a bit more, slick the edges back a little tighter. You know, you just wanna make sure your presentation is on point because this is a TV show. Obviously, they're gonna want talent, but they're also gonna want a look. So we have to make sure that, you know, you look like a TV star, right? Pause real quick. Okay, I'm gonna try to cut crease. I'm gonna use a different concealer. This is Tan Sand Tape Shape. It's lighter than my normal shade of deep, but the other concealer was starting to crease on me. So I'm gonna try this one, plus it's a little lighter. Hopefully the colors will show up a little better. As I said, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I digress. It's still gonna be colorful. Let's move on. Even though I just told you the goal was to make me look like I was, you know, supposed to be on TV, like I'm supposed to have a TV appearance look. This was still like 2009, where certain things were trendy. So when I described to you the outfit I had on, you gotta realize the time that we were in then. The fashion was a bit different, okay? Okay, so here was my OOTD, okay? Picture this. I think I had on a tank top. I don't remember the top. I mostly remember the bottoms. I had on a tank top, I believe. Or it was some type of crop top that was a tank top but showed a little of the belly, okay? You got that? Then the popular pants at the time were called gauchos. Imagine like wearing high-waist leggings where the material folded over at the waist, and then they are tight all the way up into your thigh, and then they flare out. They were one of the most comfortable pants, and I had on a brown pair of gauchos. They were my best pair too, because they were kind of new, okay? Then, I know everybody should be familiar with these. They were called, they had a whole bunch of different names. It kind of just depended on where you lived. We called them either Chinese slippers or ripper slippers, but they were basically like a net flip-flop, not a flip-flop because it didn't go between your toes, a net flat slide sandal, okay? The net went over your feet, and then they would have like roses on them. And you can get them in any color, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, rainbow, any color you want, and they were only like $1. So as you can imagine, when these sandals were in, everybody had some because you can match them with any outfit you had, and they were cheap as heck, and everybody was wearing them. So it's not like, oh, my shoes are only $1. Like all our shoes are $1. Like they were just ripper slippers. So yeah, that was pretty much my outfit. I had on a tank top, some gauchos, some ripper slippers. Yeah, and I believe I had braids at the time. I still was on my Alicia Keys braids that, you know, braided up here, singles in the back. So that was my outfit. Also, when you made it to the second round, they had a list of just like what you need to be prepared for the second day, like what you could and couldn't do. One of the things that was on there was that you could not change your clothes or your shoes. Even though the next day was like singing and dancing, it was like you're not gonna have time to change your clothes. So make sure you wear something that's comfortable for you to be in all throughout the day, because you're not going to be able to change. They were it was like in bold letters, you know? I'm a rule follower, so I took that very serious, even though you would think if I took that serious, I wouldn't have worn ripper slippers, because you cannot dance in ripper slippers. Like, it's funny how none of my family wanted to pass that little advice along. Like, girl, you sure you wanna wear those shoes? They look a little slippery. But I was very confident in what I had on. I was comfortable. I thought, okay, worst case scenario, I'll take off I'll take off the shoes if I need to get a little grip, you know? I practiced the song because you could still use the same song that you sang in the first audition. So I just made sure I got extra crispy on the song. I went in the bathroom, made sure my little riffs was, you know, coming out through, making sure I was breathing correctly, had all the words right. And they also said that you could sing any part of the song, not just the beginning. So I practiced more at the end of the song, you know, when she hits that long drawn out, you know, I tried to make sure I was ready to sing any part of the song and some of the other ones, you know, because at that point my confidence was boosted enough to not be as shy as I was the first day. I was still nervous, but I was like, okay, clearly I made it to the second round, dust off some of that nervousness, show them what you got. Okay, go hard, go home. Okay, so I get there, day 2. This day consists of you singing again for like the people that are going to be like judges on the show. Like Lorianne Gibson was there. One of the his producers was there. Diddy wasn't there, but the people that you actually seen on the show were there. So that was kind of nerve-wracking. But you had to sing and you had to dance with them. So this time when we sang, instead of it being in like a room where it's just you and the judges by yourself, it was in front of everybody. Like they were sitting at a table, there was a microphone in the middle of the floor, everybody was kind of like lined up on the walls, and when they called your number, you go to the microphone in the middle of the floor, sing your song. This made it a lot worse because then it was kind of like you could actually hear what everybody else could do, how well they can sing. So my nerves were kind of wrecked because like as people keep going up, like damn, she could sing, wow, she could sing, whew, she could blow. It became like I don't really know if I'm the same league as them because they are like busting it. So I just tried to keep my cool and whatnot. Finally it was my turn. I get up there, I sing my part. After that, I forgot how they told us if we moved on or not. I don't know if they just, oh yeah, they called our numbers. They were like, okay, if we call your number, you are gonna stay for the next round. If we don't call your number, thank you for coming out. So I'm just waiting, I'm waiting while they called my number. I made it to the 3rd round, y'all. Wow. Wow, so you really like that? You really like that? Wow, okay. I didn't really register everything else. I was just more so focused on the singing part because that's why I was there. That's why my family pressured me to go. You can sing, go try out. You can do it. Yeah. But after the singing comes the dancing, right? Now, honestly speaking, I wasn't like terrified of the dancing part because I was a cheerleader. I wasn't a cheerleader in college, but in high school, some of you guys are side-eyeing like, girl, cheerleader, but let me explain. So in high school, I was a cheerleader all 4 years. I was on varsity when I was supposed to be in JV. I was a competitive cheerleader. I cheered out of the state. I was on the regular high school cheerleading team and a competition team. Like, cheer was life, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I was one of the cheerleaders that always had point in the pyramid or in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd row. You know, I was usually up there, and that's usually where you put the people who, you know, can bust it down the best. So I was like, well, the dancing should be nothing because, you know, I've competitively danced, you know, and in cheerleading there is a dance portion, you know, where you really have to shake your palms, you know, and get down and dirty. So that was what I took going in. Like, if I can do that in front of a large crowd of people, granted there are 30 other girls on stage, granted it's more 5, 6, 7, 8, but it's still choreography. So I can learn choreography easy. Like, that's what I do. This is gonna be nothing. So they put us all in this little room because by this time it's about maybe 50 girls left, if that. So we all are in this little room and they're like, okay, you guys are gonna take a little lunch, meaning like 30-minute break. And when we come back, you guys are gonna learn the choreography. So I noticed while I'm in this room, what's going on here, guys? What's happening? Everybody is changing. They have duffel bags, backpacks. They are all changing their clothes. So I'm like, hold on. Okay, you cannot change your clothes or shoes in the audition the entire day. Wow, so I did read it correctly. Why is everyone changing? Why does everyone have an extra pair of shoes and clothes? Did you guys not read? Or is anyone gonna walk in and tell them that this is illegal, what they're doing right now? No? Everyone is just prepared to break the rules except me. Wow. That's crazy. That's really crazy. So they're putting on you know, the dance shoes that have like the hard soles, and in the middle of the arc is like bending, like they're stretching. I am sitting there in the corner terrified because I was like not prepared for like a whole different set of girls to come out. Like now it's flash dance. Like how do you guys have, like what type of dancers are you? Why do you need jazz shoes? Like what is going on? Then I realized that you couldn't perform without shoes on. So my original plan that like, okay, these shoes might not be the best to dance in, but worst come to worst, I'll just take them off to have some grip. Yeah, that was not an option. They let people change, but you could not wear shoes because I guess of insurance issues. I don't know. I just felt really set up, you know what I'm saying? At this point, there's nothing I can do about it. I wasn't close enough to my family's house for them to bring me any shoes. It was just, I was just gonna have to make it do what it do. Grip them toes as tight as you can in them ripper slippers. Do not fall, do not bust your ass. And I think you'll be able to hold it down. What's the worst that could happen? I'm gonna pause the story right quick. So I was just gonna use this. This is one of Huda Beauty's matte and melted shadows. I was gonna use bamboo hoops to line, but I'm thinking it might blend in too much. So I'm thinking about using Techno Beat, which is a Fenty Beauty pink liner. Even though I think that might be like too... Okay, so I'm gonna use this halfway through the eye and then pink on the other halfway. I'm so nervous. Okay. I'm gonna speed through the rest of my face because I'm almost done with the story and everything is pretty much the same except for like one or two things. So I'm just gonna tell you what I'm gonna use, but I'm gonna speed through it so I can get back to the story, which is almost done, like I said. For my face, I'm using NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade Macao and CoverGirl's D40 True Blend Matte Made, which is a little bit darker, and it's gonna give me the balance I need with my little tan I got going on. Using Tarte's Deep Shape Tape to conceal and highlight, and Fenty Beauty's Honey Powder to bake. CoverGirl's Ebony Bronzer Max Mineralized Skin Finish. I'm using a tiny bit of Artist Couture's Le Bronze, the Jacquiana collab, for my highlight. All right, I also finished this eye so we can get this one done without having to do both. Let me tell you what the products are right quick before I finish the story. I'm gonna put Mardi Gras from that same Uoma palette. It's this like shimmery purple shade on the lower lash line. Fenty Beauty Black Pencil for the waterline. Actually need some more. That purple made it get a little ashy. I did a really thin liner just to conceal my lash band with the Balm Schwing liner. One of my favorites still. I've been using this for years. And then finally, my lashes that I have on are from Bella & Co., a brand that I saw on Twitter. I was trying to think of like all the black-owned brands that I've used, and I've pretty much used a black-owned brand for everything before, like foundation. I've tried for like every product, but I was like, I don't know about lashes, even though I know there are a lot of my sisters out there that got a lash brand. So someone had tagged me with this company. This is how the other one looks in the cart. See, they're very dramatic, and I was really nervous when I first saw them because they were very dramatic. I actually liked them on more than I liked them in the box. And I'm one of those shoppers, like sometimes if I see something hanging, I'd be like, and when you try it on, it looks way better. Like, I'm a very visual person. I have to see it like on to know if I really like it or not. So I really like these. It goes great with this look because this look is dramatic, so they're blending in. And yeah, okay, back to the story. Everybody has to learn the choreography at the same time. So they put us all in the main room, which wasn't super big, and the judges are at their table, and Lorianne Gibson is walking around teaching everybody the boom cat cats, right? So as I said before, learning choreography is pretty, you know, came natural to me, being, you know, a competitive cheerleader or whatnot. However, learning choreography in cheerleading versus learning choreography in hip hop is, as you can imagine, very different. Like, one is more beef jerky, where it's like 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. And the other is more like loose, fine. Two different styles. So even though I was learning the choreography very quickly, the actual dance moves that I was exuding weren't, you know, they felt a little shaky. Mind you, after you learn the choreography, it's not like, okay, you learn the choreography, go home, perfect it, get your moves on point, get comfortable with the choreography, come back tomorrow, you know, we'll see what you got. It was more so you learn it and you do it. So it was a pretty quick dance. I will say I don't remember any like super hard parts. I think the problem that I was encountering the most was the slip and slides, because as I said, I had the ripper slippers on, the floor was tile. So just imagine, I don't know, wearing socks on a bowling alley. Like, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't even walk onto the bowling alley. Like, it's slippery. So that's kind of what I felt like was against me. Like, how am I gonna hit this move when my leg slides a little bit more? That could be an excuse. However, that's just how I remember the experience. Is I couldn't really be comfortable and loose because I was so stiff and trying not to fall in my chickadee Chinese slippers. So then they start splitting people up into smaller groups to perform the choreography, right? So first it's like 5 of us and we have to do the whole routine, which isn't very long. However, now everybody's like sitting out on the floor. All eyes are on the 5 people. I think it was like, at first it was like 5 or 10 people that she had called out to perform it with the music or whatnot. So I'm like, okay, let me scoot on back here because, you know, I'm clearly gonna be doing the right moves. I just don't wanna see them, you know, pay attention to too much on how accurate the move is, you know? So we go up, we're doing it, bam, boom, pow. Then all of a sudden she's like, you, to the front. Wow. Yeah, this is just her like narrowing it down so she can really see who can do the dance moves, right? My group of 10 became a group of 3. I'm in the middle. This would normally be a good thing, but it's a terrible situation for me. So I have jazz hands over here and then the prima ballerina over here to my left and my right. Change the clothes, new shoes. I'm in the middle with my gauchos. She has us do the dance twice, like in a row. Like, all right, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom, cat, cat, boom, cat. So we're doing the dance. I'm getting all the booms and hitting all the cats. So I'm like, I understand that this probably doesn't look great, but I'm hoping she can at least see the potential here. Clearly she sees my shoes. Maybe, you know, she's gonna take that into consideration. Like, I can't believe this girl's actually hitting these moves in these shoes. Maybe that would give me a 1 leg up. Like, wow, if she can do this with those shoes on, imagine if she actually did not have on her ripper slippers, you know? That's what I was hoping was going through her mind. Like, I was fighting through something right there. And I'm thinking, since she said twice, that means she want to see me bust these dance moves out again. Clearly, we did good on the first round. She want to see if we can just pick back up, you know, walk around, pick back up on the second round, you know what I'm saying? No pressure. This is where the pressure came. So, upon the second time we did the choreography, all of a sudden, Lorianne's like, all right now, freestyle. Freestyle. Wow, wasn't prepared for a freestyle, but you know, I'm pretty good at, you know, freestyling. So let me think. Yo. Oh, she means freestyle dance, which we never had to do in cheerleading. This wasn't anything I was familiar with. This wasn't anything I was prepared for. I'm not even sure if at the time I even knew what the definition meant to like freestyle dance. Like, I was flabbergasted, right? All-nighter. So I look to my right. This girl is doing like, I don't know, crumping, all type of, she's like in her hip hop thing, you know what I'm saying? Like pop locking, hidden splits. This girl over here, she's more like doing like ballet stuff, like spinning, hitting the left, right, bam, boom, like hitting more of like a, like she went to like the Debbie Allen dance school or something like that. They're on my right and my left, therefore I'm in the middle, dead smack in the middle. The only thing that I could think to do in my years of cheerleading, when you didn't have a dance, like you weren't doing an actual dance when you were cheerleading, all you did was you went side to side and you clapped your hands. Like that's what you did before, in between dances. That was like our form of freestyle. That's what I did. That's what I did. I had the straight elbows. I was looking to my right and my left. All I could think to do was clap it out. There was nothing came to mind. Like nothing felt natural to do. Like what was I supposed to do? Like I had no idea. Like this was clearly before TikTok. I couldn't even pull out, you know, I couldn't put out nothing. Like, did I mention that this was being filmed? I don't think it made it to TV, but I was terrified at the thought because there was a cameraman here. So the cameraman is like going all around of us like a circle, like it was all eyes on us. And the only thing that I could think to do was that she had us freestyle for a good 30 seconds. So it was like a 30-second hand clap for me. I'm not sure if I heard chuckles, but I wouldn't have been surprised if people were chuckling because it was a very awkward situation. Again, I didn't see that in the memo, and I was trying to make sure I followed the instructions. And if they told me that freestyle dance was a part of the audition process, I could have thought of a couple moves to keep on, like I don't know, like what, like a I would have probably tried to use more of, you know, that type of deal. But yeah, that was the day I learned that I couldn't dance. All those years, I was under the impression that you know, I'm not the greatest dancer, but I can't dance. And unfortunately, this gene has passed on to Yoshi, and she doesn't know this yet, so she doesn't watch my videos. Unfortunately, so she won't hear that, but she has the confidence of 10 men and women. So I'm hoping she keeps that confidence, because when I had it, couldn't nobody tell me that I couldn't dance, you know? Now I get told that all the time. It's so crazy how people just want to all of a sudden start being honest to me about not being able to dance. But according to the evidence, the video footage that my friends take, yeah. So shocker, everyone's called back to the room. Of course, my number is not called. That is the beginning and the end of my girl group music career. I wasn't sad. I didn't cry. It was more so like a reality check. Like, okay, you're good enough to sing background, but when it comes to being right behind Beyonce, not a chance. So this is the final look, guys. I'm just throwing on some lip gloss. This is Fenty Beauty's Sweet Mouth. This is how my eyes turned out. I'm not mad at them. I was at first. We saw that. I was technically trying to be more rainbowish, but I'm actually, this is like a neon rainbow, okay? But I'm not mad at it, and it's very unfortunate that I have nowhere to go, no one to show. As usual. I hope you guys enjoyed my little story time. I may do another poll on YouTube. You know how YouTube has like the community tab where you can do like tweets. I don't know what the official word for them, but like posts. And I may do another poll to see what you guys want the next story time to be about, if I do another one. So just check out for that. And as usual in the comments, let me know what else you guys want to see on my channel. Chat with me down there. I'm usually there for a good hour or two, especially after posting videos. So meet me there. And yeah, until next time, love you guys. Mwah.